Part 2. This is what we're going to create. Let's go back again to D2L and take a look at a few things. So in our slides, we've got the prep information as far as the size, creating in design. But before we start the actual process of production, let's go down here and take one more look at here. Tom's Shoe Ad, download the folder for the assets. So let's go ahead and click here for a second. Okay, that should be downloading. Let me go to my folder and take a look at this. All right, so our downloads here. Here's Tom's assets. I'm going to double click here and then pull this folder into my demo folder that I created. So in the assets, I'll close this here for a second. We've got 6 images. They're green, red, and tan shoes, single and double. We have Tom's logo, and we have the copy that needs to be pulled in. Okay, so that is set and ready to go. Going back here, then go back to the slides, and we'll start with a new design. So let me go to InDesign. I'll create a new file here, File, New, Document. We can go to print if we want to. Default, 8.5 by 11, but to fit the actual size of the magazine, it is 8.375 by 10.875. Okay, we do not need facing pages or primary text frame. 1 page is enough. 1 column is generic. You can definitely add more columns to create like a grid. We'll get into that in another assignment. Margins, we'll leave it at 1/2 inch. And then bleeds, we'll go ahead and increase this to 0.125, 1/8 of an inch, and hit create. Okay, so now we've got our document. Let's save it right away. So file save or save as, either way at the first part. Let's do Becker J Tom's. Okay, and we'll put it into our folder 120 Tom's demo. Saving. Okay, our document dimensions are the black line, the bleed guideline is the red, and the margins are currently at the 1/2 inch mark. Okay, let's pull some graphics in here and our text. So let's go ahead and place. And I'm going to grab my copy first, Tom's text, and we'll just click here and let it pop in. Now it filled my entire page, which I don't really like. I'm going to go ahead and make this smaller. And I know we've got a headline, we've got a paragraph of copy, and we've got contact information. So I'm going to go ahead, you can copy and paste or however you want to do this. I'm going to just cut this, paste into another document, and then I'll cut the copy for the title, copy or headline, and paste that in here. Okay, I want to cut it. Okay, we'll make these a little bit bigger. This is almost 8.5 by 11, like an 83.75. We're gonna need this a lot bigger. So let's just go ahead and make this quite large and see what happens. Okay, 20 points, and that's probably still a little small. This will need to be a lot larger as a subhead or a headline in a sense. We'll just make this bigger, and I'm holding down the Shift Command key and the arrows right and left to make it bigger and smaller. Okay, so we've got a headline and we've got contact information. So 12 on 14. I don't like to use defaults on really anything. I want to control it all. So I'm going to go ahead and make this on 15. And I'll just let that sit for a little bit. Okay, we do have a little bit issue here with Tom's copy. One thing is I don't want hyphens. And the other thing is we've got a couple little bizarre little items that showed up here. Now this I know should be IT''ILL, and this I have no idea what that is, so that's when we go back to our D2L and take a look at the copy. Where was that? That was back. Let me get rid of this. Okay. Contents. There we go. Copy. Tom's apostrophe. And it'll. Okay, so we need to change those things. And when you pull over copy from your clients, you generally will have some kind of issues somewhere in here. I'm going to go ahead and go in here and change that to Tom's apostrophe and it'll with an apostrophe here. Okay, so that worked out well. That's taken care of. I want to get rid of the hyphens. Let's go to paragraph panel, take that off, and it's not working because I need to be in here with my text tool. So I'm inside a paragraph. The hyphenation will go away just for this paragraph. Okay, so now we've got our copy. Let's go see what we've got in our asset folder for imagery. And I know what I'm going to grab because I'm going to recreate this. But as you can see, let's go to page 2 here. I was kind of playing around with some different things. And this was another ad that I was kind of working on. I didn't like where it was going, but I kept it in here just to show you that you can create whatever you want to. Okay? I was using just a simple images that were in the assets folder, and then I pulled this one on the right from the website. So I just left it in here because it does look different. Okay? But we're going to recreate this one. So I know I want this shoes, the red shoes. So let's go ahead and file place here. Go to our assets folder and it's Tom's red. Okay. If I just click, it's going to come in at like 100% in a sense. How big is this? Is that 100%? Okay. So we'll go and put this here. Now, there is an issue. Why is that? Did I really do that? I did. Okay, so images. You don't want to like use them at like 200%, 300%. If you go like 120%, you're not going to kill the quality. It depends on the client and where it's going to be used. Especially print is very, very critical to be really aware of this image. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom this up to 120. Okay, and it's going to work for our layout. I wouldn't go too much further. Okay, you want to make sure, again, you do not ruin the quality of the imagery. So if I click in the middle here, I can double check and make sure that the image is in proportion. That is key. Let's make sure we do that. There's one more image we want to pull in. So Command D is going to bring me back to placing, and I go to Tom's logo. And I'm going to stick it right in here, from here to like 3. So it's like 2.5 inches in depth or width here. And if you don't have your rulers on, you can go under View and Show Rulers or hide them. Okay. What else can we do? With the rulers on, let me zoom in here. If this is the placement of my logo, and I want to align something over here, I can pull in or drag over guides to make sure anything I want aligned, like I'll align this element here, my text frame, at the same width as the Tom's logo. Selecting all and centering it. Here's center up here too. Now I've got this little extra thing up here and I'm not quite sure. It's probably a tab, but let's take a look at another feature here. If you go to View, your screen mode, you'll want to go back and forth between normal and preview. Okay, let me go to 0 here. Command 0 for viewing at 100%. Let me find that out right here. Fit to page window. Okay, this is one way to increase and decrease your page viewing. So right now I'm viewing as is. This is what it would look like if it was printed. And the other view is screen mode to normal. And this is where you can see everything, including your bleeds and area outside where you can, work out here. Okay, let me pull this over a little bit so it's all on the screen or all on the page. And I don't like this up here. Let's go fix this real quick. So under View, we can go to, maybe it's Type, Show Hidden Characters. And this looks like there is a tab here. Here's a return, here's return, end of paragraph. I think this is what this means. And every little dot between words, that's a space. If you hit the space bar, you get a little dot. So I'm going to take this out, delete it, and now it's working just fine. This, I do not like the break. I'm going to go ahead and turn these off again. Type, hide hidden characters. I don't like this, so I'm going to take this out. And I don't need a comma because it's going on to a different line. I'll hit return here. Okay, so we've got that kind of set. Now what? My content is here. How do I want to design it? That's what you've got to come to terms with next. Do you want to use more shoes in here? Do you want to find something from the website and you need a background image? So are you going to do like an outdoors thing, a patio thing? What kind of feel? What do you want of this ad? So in this ad that I created, I have a background. Looks like it's indoors, but very casual. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy this over and put it in here. And I need to send this to back, arrange, send to back. Okay, and what else did I have in here? I had this picture. Now let's see if we can find that photograph, or it probably has changed because the websites are going to keep updating themselves. So let's go to Tom's logo or Tom's website, toms.com. Okay, we're going to go to women's and the proper shoes. And then you can click through here and try to find some imagery that works. You can also go to any website and just search the web. Oh, that might be kind of interesting too. It's kind of fun. So if you find something you like, let me just go to grab this just for fun. All right, so I'm going to click on here. Now if I do a right click, I can copy the image. Okay, that's good. So let's see if I can get a bigger one. I click here. There we go. Right click. I'm going to copy it. Now it's on the clipboard. Because I think in this website, I like those pink shoes. If I right click here, I cannot copy. It doesn't allow me to. So let's go to Photoshop and see how big this photo is going to be. Photoshop, close that, File, New. It's taking the information from the clipboard. There's my pixels, my resolution. Color mode, we'll just leave it as is right now. Create and paste. All right, let's just go to a different tool so I don't have anything on here. All right, let's take a look. For print, we need CMYK mode, color mode, RGBs for screens, and then I'll go ahead and flat because I do not need all these background images. So we'll just hit flatten, okay. And then let's go to canvas or image size. It currently is 16 inches almost by 72, but this is not going to be good for print. So make sure resample is not selected, but change 72 to 300. Now this image can be used, like at 4 inches, no problem, and keep a nice clear image. So we hit OK here, and we're going to save it. And I want to make sure it's on my computer in my folder. 120. Now why? Oh, it's desktop. Let's go to here, ECC, 120, Tom's demo. Okay, this is going to be called, let me see, Tom's, okay, let's just put 3 pairs of shoes. All right, right now we're just going to make it, oh, okay, let's make it a JPEG. This is perfect. JPEG. We'll leave it outside the folder just so we know it was ours. Okay, hit JPEG here, max file size, quality, and we'll get rid of this. Then we'll go back to InDesign and File Place, Command D, and put the image in here. And I'm going to stick it, I'm going to click and drag, pop it right in there. Come on, it's supposed to just snap to it. There we go. Now I was talking about snapping. What did I mean by that? If you go to the view menu, you have guides and grids and guides. I do like to have my items snap to guides. And so if I have these two things on, I like these a lot. So it's easier for things to shift and align. Okay, see how it's going really good to this line here? You move it, it kind of jumps. So alignment helps, or is helped quite a bit by having those 2 things turned on. Okay, what else then? I've got information in here. I've got my photographs, I've got my text content. I do want I'm going to put the website down here. That's awfully small. And then let's see what else we can do. So far we've got a lot of things placed, but we still need a good design to finish out. This is what we want to do, and this is what we have currently. And then let's go to the next, number 3.